it's been so hard these last couple of years. Like the market has been so depressed, and people that have never had to interview for jobs are now interviewing at multiple jobs and not getting the job at the end. Like they're always like, like one step away from what they think is going to bring them happiness. And I feel like I've been hearing from a lot of people that they're even doubting that what they're doing is what they want to do. Right? Like, should I leave the industry? Like, should I just do something completely different? Like, is this not, do I not fit in anymore? Is this not for me? Like, am I trying to like fit a square peg into a round hole? And so I think people are really having a crisis of conscience of like, am I even doing the right thing? And Mark, I loved what you had said in one of our earlier calls when the four of us were all talking together, where I think you said something, and I'll let you fill in the blanks here, but it was something about, people think that like getting that job is going to make them happy, or like getting this accolade or this success is going to give them happiness. But it's really about like, what is happiness to you? And like, can you speak to that a little bit? Because I think
I just looked at the camera and I realized I just want to let people know I do have a black eye. I train jujitsu every day. It was an accident. No one's mad. It's fine.
You should see the other guy.
I was just going to say that.
The other guy's also fine. Very good competitor. But yeah, so this idea that I will be happy when is just such a red herring. It's this idea, and the framing that I have around it is about process. Like a process versus a goal, and goals are really good, right? Like, you got to get a job. We live in the world. So, like you have to pay your rent. These things are important. It's not like you shouldn't have goals and just like live free, because that's not realistic. And if you're only focused on that, it can generate obviously a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety when you're on that path, whether you're creating a new job or a new piece of art or music or whatever it is. There has to be a way to engage with the process so that you're really in that process and really finding ways to find, whatever kind of joy in that process, whether it's like gamifying your outreach or, whatever you have to do. I love the no game. Have you heard of the no game?
What's that?
So this is why I work with a lot of creatives, and a lot of creatives are trying to find work, whether it's full-time or contracts or commissions. And you'd be so surprised. I mean, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, but how many people you talk to and you're like, all right, you got your resume, you got your things, you're going to go. And then you talk to them next and they're like, oh, I didn't really talk to anybody. The no game, I love. I got it from one of my coaches. And it's basically, you sort of set a number for yourself for the week or the month. And you say, I'm going to collect 20 no's this week.
I love that.
And what it does is it kind of like, it gives you a competitive advantage, because you're actually out, like your goal is no longer to get that job. I mean, obviously if you get a yes, bummer, you lost the no game. Right? So you win either way, because if I go out and I'm like, I'm going to get 20 no's, and you hit your number, it feels good. You've tricked yourself in a way to making it feel good, but you're also in the process.
Yeah,
that's one way to sort of trick yourself into enjoying the process. And I know, like, especially for those who are listening, if it's been a month or months and you're, and it is a real struggle, I get it. I'm not discounting that. This is the sort of tragic optimist view. We're not going to be like, everything's fine because I got 20 no's. If it's not fine, it's fine. Feel your feelings. But also, like, there's ways to engage with this that can make even something like that fun.
Yeah, I like that. I do something where it's like when I'm doing like new business or outreach, like I'll give myself points for like, how significant was the thing that I did. Like if it was a Zoom call with a potential new client, I'll give myself like 10 or 20 points. If it's like an email to somebody that I already know, we're already in communication, but maybe I'm like asking for something, maybe that's like a point or 2 points. It's just like a way to gamify it, just to make it more fun, as opposed to just like, I'm just working in this vacuum and I have no idea what I'm actually doing.
Never ending.
Yeah. So it's just, and at the end of the year, it's like that I'm going through my list and I'm like, oh, like who do I want to keep in touch with the next year? So it's like just a way that I can just kind of keep everything together and organized,
I like
that.
Absolutely.
Some good tips.
Yeah.
Good